how is your shoulder feeling? Does it feel like it's
It
not bugging you as much?
it's feeling better. It's still I can feel it a little bit. I felt it a little bit today after lifting a little bit, so I was like, okay. Um, the first week it was bothering me even like just kind of moving the wrong way, and I could but and when I sleep, like if I was laying on that shoulder, it would hurt. Um, but it's been better this week. Um, I felt it a little bit on the run, on the marathon. The first couple miles, but then everything went numb. So and then I didn't feel it anymore. So I definitely do think it's getting better. And I think it's actually the perfect timing because I'll be smart with like lowering the weight a little bit more control. Just not doing it. Like even today, like I told you, like pec deck, I ended with some pec deck, but I just did single arm one and I did the other single arm, but I went like really lightweight and just like really feel the squeeze. And I also didn't let it go all the way back. I just kind of went a little. So I think I'm being smart with it, but it doesn't hurt as bad. It's still there. Like it's definitely tweaking, but it's not awful anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's probably good that you did what you could. If anything, get a little bit of circulation going, which probably helped recovery a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Um, it's That's funny about the run. I was gonna ask if it was bugging you at all when you were running, and it's funny that everything just went numb. Nothing
Y-
hurt. I'm curious, because you and I, we were talking a bunch about how the marathon went when we were off air, and we'll talk about it more, but I'm curious, what's going through your head for those 3 hours, some minutes? Like, I'm just imagining myself like, I go on walks for
Yeah.
45 minutes is my cap right now at a time, and, like, I'm
Yeah.
daydreaming, I'm, like, thinking about all sorts of different stuff. But, like, what are you thinking? Just, 3 hours, some minutes? Like, are you daydreaming when you're running? Are you thinking about your pace the whole time? Are you thinking about how much your body hurts? Like, what's the thought process?
Yeah, probably all those things. Now, so for the actual so when I'm running a lot of my training runs, I will just wander my brain. But during the race, I think about anything. Um, and I definitely don't sightsee. Like, especially that one is in downtown DC and you can see all the monuments and stuff. Nope, I don't see any of that stuff. So it was kind of weird. It was kind of like broken up in a couple parts. Like the very beginning, you're excited, you're amped. Um, and you're just kind of watching the crowds because the first couple of miles is tons of energy. Um, but I'm also like, it's so crowded. You're almost like race navigating. Like I was literally like looking at like, okay, where's my lane to get in front of this person? Okay, when am I going to go around this person? How am I going to get in between without bumping this person? Right. So like that's a lot of thoughts early. So you're kind of like too occupied with the actual like logistics of like trying to navigate everyone to like let your mind just kind of at least for me because I'm trying to pass people and trying to continue my pace. Like I don't want to just get comfortable and go slow because people are in my way. Um there's even a couple times like I got up on the grass on the side to pass people. Um so that was a lot of it. And then um like there's people that have these signs that say like, hit the star to power up and it's all these things to try to encourage you to run. Sometimes like I will go over there and I'll hit the sign because I feel bad if they come out and no one does it or like a little kid wants to have their hand like but I literally am like just doing it like without even thinking. Like I don't smile at them. I don't like there's a couple times where I saw my mom twice and I like woo right. And then there's a couple times where the camera person like I could see them taking pictures of me. So I'm like smile at them, but then I just keep going. Um there was a couple miles um, where you start to get like uh, go internal, um, and you just have to be careful because that's when you start feeling the pain. You know what I mean? So there was a couple times
What does
where
that mean? Go internal.
like I just kind of everything just kind of like centers and you focus on just like I'm trying to describe how you go internal. Like it's based. How am I describing this? Like, when something's really bad is happening, it sucks, and you no longer are paying attention to your surroundings, interacting with people, you just kinda come to yourself in your shell, and it's like in a bad thing, I think, like, you're going internal, you're no longer responding to the people around you because the environment is, like, kind of making you go to your shell your safe space
Is it
kinda, I
like
think.
Is it like focusing on like pain or discomfort? Is it like more of a negative kind of a
Yeah.
internal focus?
Yeah, yeah, and so that you're no longer responding to people. You see it a lot, like, when we go to, like, the, whenever you're going through, like, the suck, like, when we used to hike for, like, 20 miles, you stop talking to people. You just, like you're just, like, monotonous going through it, like, so internal in the sense you no longer is talking to the person next to you, no longer responding. Um so it's kinda like how I was, and there was a couple times where I was like, "Oh, I'm starting to feel the pain," but then you just tell yourself, stop being a bitch, like, let's go, like, suck it up," like, so that's what I was just, like, telling myself, like, there was a couple times when I felt it, and I was like I would, like, out loud, like, "Come on, like, let's go," like, and you kinda, like, snap yourself out of it, so that's what that was kinda happening between mile, like, maybe like 16 and 19. And that part of the course, it's not as energetic. There's not a lot of people. So that definitely plays into it. And then you get in the crowd and all the music and blah, 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 blah. And you're like, okay, yeah, and then there's this part where you cross this bridge. Um, and there's like no one there. The good thing about that is that's when people really start fading. And so for me, when I see people fading, it actually gives me more like energy to
Start
keep
passing
going.
people?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then so I don't know. I don't do a lot of thinking though. If you now that you asked me that, I wish you would like I would have thought about that right afterwards because I honestly don't think I think about anything. It's like
it's all
and
blur.
it's not the sense of like thinking about my breathing, like I'm not like thinking about that. It's like, yeah, you're looking at your watch. I'm thinking about, okay, every 30 minutes I'm gonna take a gel, drink the water, um it seems like you have so much time, but it doesn't feel like it when you're in it. Um
Well, that's interesting. I have a question about that, but before that, I just wanted to like from what you described about going internal and that kind of that suck that you feel, it almost sounds like a not just a physical exercise of
Mhm.
like endurance, but also a mental exercise for extreme mental focus. You're like trying to make sure that you're not
Mhm.
focusing on the wrong things at the very least, even if you're not like daydreaming and or like envisioning yourself crossing over the finish line or anything like that. But it's like you're focusing on not like getting stuck, focusing on the negatives so that you drag yourself down. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But one of
Yeah.
the things I was going to ask about is, and you were kind of getting to this, I think, is like, did it go by fast? Like, when you finished, were you like, "Wow, that really went by fast," and was that different than your perspective when you were in it? Like, were you halfway through and you were like, "Oh, man, I'm only halfway through, I got another, like, you know,
Yeah.
15 miles to go," and it's like, "Oh, man, this sucks," or
Um,
what was that perspective like?
yeah, I think when I get done, it definitely feels like it went by fast. You're like, "Oh, okay, I'm already done already." Um, and then during I would say most of it feels really quick. I hit that little point where that course that has like this down and around this golf course, and it's like really long and it gets quiet. And that's the first moment that I felt like, oh my gosh, where are we at on this race? And then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm a mile 14. Crap. And then it's like, okay, you get
Halfway
back into
there.
this, yeah. And you get back into a little bit of DC, see some monuments and stuff, and you're like, okay, cool. So like there's stuff and things going on, so it's a little bit easier. For me, it's really hard the last 6 miles. The last 6 miles suck because especially that course, you go over this bridge, and that bridge is like 2 miles long of nothing. And then it makes you take this right and you literally run around a parking lot with no one's there. And I'm like, literally, I thought so when you're talking about thinking, I thought during that time, like, why are we running around a parking lot? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, what are we doing this course? And then it's like another down and back where you're in the city again with people, but it feels like you should be almost done. But it's like mile 22 to 24. But it just feels longer than it should. You're like, oh my gosh, we only have 5 miles left. Is the longest 5 miles ever. Um, and then my last mile, I was telling you before we started, like I cramped up really bad and I slowed by like a minute. Um, and that was I remember thinking, like, people passing me, which really bothered me because I'm usually the one passing people at the end, like, I'm usually the one finishing strong, and that was kind of bothersome. But then, I kinda picked it up the last half mile, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to be a wuss. Let's just push through this. Um,
So the moment that you finished, like the last mile is super tough for that reason, but
mhm.
like you cross over the finish line, were you thinking like, oh like were you worried about the cramp, or were you like bummed out about people passing you, or were you just like
No, I was pumped
excited
about.
about
Yeah,
how you did?
I was pumped. I was excited. There was a little slight of like, man, maybe I could have finished a minute faster. But then I was like, beggars can't be choosers, man. It's still way better than I thought I was gonna do. And I actually thought like,
Right.
because my goal was like a bit better than my last time, but really like a 3:20 would be happy, a 5-minute improvement. So the minute I knew I was at that half mile left, I was like, that was the first time in my thought ever in a run, like for a race that I might have to stop and walk. Um,
Wow.
and I told myself, even if I have to walk, I know I'm still gonna beat a 3:20 because I can walk half a mile in 5 minutes. Um, and I was like, so that's a good win no matter what. But I was like, wait, why stop that? Like, I'd rather push myself as far as I can and then start the walk. Like, why would I give up now? Um, and then when I crossed, I was like, okay, this is awesome. It I actually the leg like did not bother me at all. Like it kind of went away right when I stopped. So like part of me thinks, and again, this is maybe more knowledge about learning how to race. Like maybe the smart thing to do would be to stop real quick, like rub it out and then go, and maybe it goes away. But I think that's just more experience as you get when your body has those things happen. Um, because also I think you got to be careful about stopping, and then it just sees up even more. Um, but then my left IT band was hurting. I didn't realize that until afterwards. I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was limping on my left leg when that didn't bother me at all during the race. Um,
You're
so
probably
yeah.
running on so much adrenaline.
Oh yeah,
That
100%.
numb feeling that you described earlier, everything goes numb. It's
Yeah.
like the
Well, and
adrenaline
then
just
like
kicks in.
you finish and you put your stuff like in these trucks with your bag. So then you go to the truck and they pick up your bag, which has like your cell phone and like I have a change of clothes and stuff like that. And they could not find my bag, and I sat outside of that truck for over 20 minutes waiting for them to look for it, and then usually I would get pissed off about that, but I literally I was like, "I
So
don't care."
drained.
I'm just standing there just waiting for my bag, but it was smart because I learned from last year, and I brought a whole change of clothes. I put on slides with new socks, like, all that was, like, very good decisions, so you're not just standing in that sweaty stuff, but
Crazy.
yeah, yeah, so it is an interesting mind game. Um, it's different though on the race day than like long runs. Like when you're doing training runs and they're long, those can feel like forever. Whereas the races, it just goes by really fast. There's like stuff I didn't really talk to many people like when I'm running. Couple like, oh, excuse me, whatever. Like this one guy like spit and he almost spit on me. I was like, because like he
Dodged.
didn't know I was there. And there's like funny people out there like on the crowds that are saying stuff. There's this guy that was running behind me. And I looked at some of the pictures and his shirt said Alex on it really big, like his name was Alex. And for about 2 miles, everyone, as I was like in front of him, it was like, Alex, Alex, hey Alex. And I was like, am I near someone famous? Like, what is going on? And then
Yeah,
I saw
yeah,
afterwards that his shirt said Alex. And that was fun because then people are cheering a ton. And I'm like, oh, this is like that does help. I thought about that. That was a
yeah.
strategy. Maybe wear a shirt that says cheer for me. Um, so yeah, but yeah, it
That's
was cool
awesome.
though. It was
So,
good.
what what do you think, what do you think's what do you think's harder? Prepping and competing in a marathon or prepping and competing for a bodybuilding competition?
Ooh.
From my perspective, like, I think that a marathon would be harder. Like, just the performance of it, the event itself, and, like, I know that your goal was I needed to do at least 80 runs
Mhm,
beforehand. Like, that's a big deal. Huge time commitment. I can imagine, like, at least a little bit uncomfortable.
mhm,
You
mhm,
probably have to fight days of low energy to get yourself to do it.
mhm.
So, I would think that the marathon prep would be harder. I know all the challenges that come with
Yeah.
bodybuilding, but, for
I
you as someone that's done both, what's your 2 cents?
um, hmm. I think I'm gonna cop out with this answer. I think I think the physical act of marathon training is harder. I think the mental aspect of bodybuilding is harder, and specifically just the food thing for me for the bodybuilding. Like going to the gym and lifting is not hard, and even like if you wanted to say I should do like better technique, lighter weight, better like really focused reps, kind of like Sam technique. Um, I would say yes, that's hard to do mentally, but it's not as hard mentally as going out and running 20 miles. Like, you know what I mean? Because it's like a shorter duration of mental focus. Um, but I think when you're running a lot, you can kind of eat whatever you want. And so like you don't have to have the struggle of um the strict diet. You
Restricting
know?
your food, yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's for me, at least in the limited experience, it's not the restricting of the eating, it's like the preventing of the emotional eating. You know what I mean? When like you have a stress day, like when you're running a lot and you have a stress day, you can like eat a whole bunch of carbs and carbs make you feel good. Um, so I would say that, and I also think it would be interesting to see. I'll probably never get to experience this. I don't think marathon training would be as hard if I wasn't lifting every day as well. Like most marathon runners are not lifting 5, 6 days a week. They like it's really funny when I listen to their plans. They're like, "Oh, make sure you add a day of strength training." I'm like, one day, and they're doing like some single leg, like they do
It's like
like
all
they do
stretches and
Bulgarians. Yeah,
rehab.
yeah, right. Like I don't know. I just recently followed this other Instagram account. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was like a former NFL player, and he's just now getting into running, and he did a marathon. But he said in one of his stories, like running a marathon was harder than like playing in the NFL, like the training for it and stuff like that. But I think it's just what you're used to. You know what I mean? Like I'm sure marathon runners don't think it's hard, because they're just used to it. But so I think the physical act of the running is probably harder, but the mental toughness to control your emotions and not eat your emotions for the bodybuilding aspect of it. Um, yeah, and I think doing like when you said like the 80 runs, because I remember we were talking about that. That is a lot of runs in a 3-month time. Like you're basically running 2/3 of the days. But like I had more than 80. Well, I probably had the same amount of lifts in that amount, actually probably more.
Right.
Um, so if didn't have to do both every day, then it would be easier to run more and recover more, get more sleep because like the running takes a lot more time than the bodybuilding as well. So I
Yeah.
copped out with that
I guess you
answer.
could s I guess you could say something like, the goal is to run 5 days a week or 4 days a week, and then that ends up being somewhere around 80 runs over the course of 3 months, and that doesn't sound as daunting as 80. It's still daunting, don't get me wrong, but
Mhm, mhm.
there's something about 80 runs in 3 months that sounds very daunting, but
It
that
would be
makes sense.
more, yeah, it would be interesting to see how much time I spent during that prep, both running and lifting. That would be, like, interesting to see how much time that took to do those goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Well, something I'm curious about is how you're feeling about going pretty much straight into a bodybuilding prep at this point. So we were talking a little bit off air about this.
mhm,
You just finished. You're kind of still recovering. Like you're getting
mhm,
back into your training. It's been a little bit lighter, but like it takes a
yeah.
lot of energy to run a marathon. Takes some recovery afterwards.
Mhm,
And there's a bodybuilding competition that's about 3.5 months away that you got your eyes on. So
yeah.
with where you're at right now, how are you feeling about all of that? Like, what are your honest feelings looking ahead?
Um, excited, but I'm just I'm drained right now. Um, so, like, I'm excited for it, like, I'm sure, like, as I start the next one, it'll be exciting and new and doing something different and not having to run as much will be enjoyable. Um, but, yeah, it's a quick turn. I think I feel more tired. It's hard to remember, but I think I feel more tired than last year after the marathon. That might make sense because maybe I just push myself more. I've also been way more stressed at work, which I definitely think has a play. Um, like probably tenfold more stressed at work than last year at this time.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and that's just like it's wearing me out. Like so much so, like I don't know, I'm just mentally exhausted every day. Which is kind of making me nervous about the bodybuilding stuff because as I lower the calories, it's just going to be even harder to navigate. Um, Especially because right now I am like I feel like the only glue there at work that's like keeping trying to keep the energy high. Like I'm they call it the fun and games officer. Like I'm like the person that's trying to be like energetic and stuff. And if I feel like if I lose that, there's there's like an unspoken pressure on me to be that guy. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like I was listening to some stuff and they was talking about how long, like after a marathon, you should start running again, or how much you should do these things, and like it was talking about recovery times, and depending on your level, right? Like different, some people say you should at least take a week off, but they said like it could take up to 3 weeks for your body to fully recover, for all the inflammation to go down, like all this stuff. Um, and of course, I'm like, when can I start lifting again? And so I took 2 days off, and that was like, I'm like, okay, it feels weird. I haven't been to the gym in a week. I need to start lifting.
At least that's a good sign, like, psychologically, you wanna get after it, and it's not
Yeah.
like you wanna mentally take a break from lifting. So it's like
Oh
you
no,
have to
yeah.
take
It's
a
like
break because your body needs it, so that's a good sign.
the gym is definitely a good thing. Now I do like, I don't know if I want to. I've enjoyed the last week sleeping in because I haven't been getting up at like 5, and so tomorrow I'm getting up and going to the gym again back at 5 in the morning, and we'll see how that goes. It's almost like I've been getting too much sleep for me. I'm so used to running on E and red, like that my body doesn't know what to do now with all this sleep and rest that I'm getting, which I'm hopefully is helping me recover better and everything else. But it's just like it's just different because I'm so used to like just you know pedal to the metal. Um, but yeah, I think I'm excited to start something new. Think I don't, so I'm trying to remember like I was telling you like how the marathon prep I didn't feel as prepared like mentally, but physically I felt like it was fine. I don't think I'm trying to remember now how much pressure I was putting on myself. Maybe I was putting some pressure on myself, but I think I'm gonna do the same thing with the bodybuilding, which is good. I feel like I wanna do a lot better than last year, then same thing with the marathon. I learned from the first year, now I'll improve. So same thing, I learned from the first year. I made a lot of mistakes and I want to improve. Just like with the marathon, I didn't overdo it. I listened to my body. I took rests. I didn't get hurt like I did the year before. So I want to do that same thing. But I think I'm kind of nervous about the pressure I'm going to put on myself. You know what I mean? To improve, to do better, to to not cave on all the stupid diet issues that I always have. Um, One of my goals, I think, is we have a big event on November 15th at work. It's a big like dinner dance thing, the birthday ball. And so it's like a buffet, and it's like they always have like steak and all this nice meal. Um, they have birthday cake and desserts and all this other stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, I've been telling some of my friends at work, like, my plan is either I'm not going to eat at all or I'm going to bring my food in like a Tupperware, like a nerd. And I basically am trying to get them to help me, like encourage me and support me in that, make it feel less awkward and weird. Because for me, the hard part will not be just eating that food. The hard part is the social like anxiety that I will get by not being normal. You know what I mean? Like, um, so I think if I can get through that event with like some positive results, then we'll move on to Thanksgiving and I can do this like similar with positive results. And then when I have the random poker nights, I'm like just basically build positive results. Um, and so that's what my plan is going forward with that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm excited but nervous and just gassed. And we'll see. I mean, I'm hoping if I'm a little bit more dialed in, I don't have to go like crazy right away. It'll be interesting, I think, to see how much I can drop pretty. I think I will drop a significant amount pretty quickly as I like kind of clean up the diet. Um, as the carbs are less, the water weight kind of goes away. Like I think I'm assuming it'll respond quickly, and then we can get a better idea. Um, I know we're going to talk about that more later this week, but like I think figuring out where that baseline calories start will be interesting. And I think hopefully if I eat the right types of foods, I know last year when I started, it was like I was trying to do like protein bars and all that sort of stuff. If I just go whole foods early and I can just eat more of it and try to like stay full. So maybe 2,400 calories doesn't feel like a little. And I still can like lose weight with that. That's like what I'm hoping. And I do think my metabolism has responded positively in this during this marathon stuff. So I don't know. Like we'll see. I'm hoping for the best. But
Yeah, you learned so much from the last time around. That's
yeah.
that's my one of my key core strategies for myself with prepping is how can I make my meals as satiating or as filling as I can possibly make them, basically, without my fiber getting too out of control.
Hmm.
Because I've done
Hmm.
that before too. It's like you can basically eat a diet that's pure vegetables with some protein and you're good. Those are gonna be
Yeah.
big, massive amounts of food if you're eating 22 to 2,400 calories, something like that. You'll
Hmm.
feel pretty full. But that much fiber might have a negative impact on, at least temporarily, on what your physique looks like as far as
Hmm.
water retention and bloating goes. It might not actually be that big of a deal if like you reduce your fiber intake like the week before the show and clear some of that bloating out beforehand. So like it actually
Hmm.
might be a possibility. But for me, I try to basically keep my fiber as high as I can get away with without it showing visually, so I don't
Yeah.
like get in my own head about it. Um, but yeah, it's a core strategy. Still hunger still
Yep.
it hits no matter what. When you get lean enough, it's like it doesn't matter how much food you're eating. And then at that point, I found that it's just helpful to just
Yeah.
embrace
I
the
mean, I am
suck.
excited
That's
to
what
see. Yeah. I'm excited to see the progress on the scale go down. And all that stuff and see the physique tighten up and stuff. I want to see like how much improvement I made. Like I don't even want to call it like an improvement season because it was so short. It was like really just like lift a lot of weight and then start running a lot. So, but I definitely do think I put on some muscle. Hopefully, and hopefully we'll see um, what that looks like. But yeah, man, it's not a lot of time. It's like no off time. But part of me thinks I need that. Like I need goals or what would I be doing? We've talked about that in the past. Like I felt weird in between the marathon prep and the last show, like that April to July. And my goal was like the 1,000 pound club and run 3 miles fast. And like that was like random goals just to kind of get me through. um, so this will be good. It'll keep me focused. I'm trying to, I've been trying to prep people at work. I'm like, yep, hey, starting next week. I'm on it. Like, um, so if I become an asshole, I'm sorry. But I think I've learned that too, like getting the people around me on board with what I'm doing so they can help support. Um, Everyone thinks I'm crazy though. Like everyone. Um, they're like, you're a monster. You're like, how can you do these two things in such a short period of time and stuff like that? So
yeah, I think it's pretty crazy myself. Straight from one
yeah,
kind of a prep right into another one.
yeah. Not as crazy as the
So
one
what it
Instagram guy that I was telling you about. Like you shared with me, Sam. He's doing
Sam
them all
Lamanilla?
within. Yeah, he's doing within a week. His plans to run a
Yeah.
sub 3:30 marathon and then a bodybuilding show. So he's a beast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's one of the best natural bodybuilders in the world too. Like I
Yeah,
believe he's won worlds at least once, maybe twice. Might have to fact check me on that, but I believe
yeah,
so. So
yeah.
what are your I know we've talked about this before, but what are your goals for this
Oh,
this
hundred
upcoming
percent.
show?
I guess the safe answer is better have a better physique than last time. No, my goal is to freaking win.
Good quotes.
Um, yeah.
Air quotes.
Yeah. Improvement from last time. The problem is, like, it's subjective. You know what I mean? So, like, I could think I look better, but if the judge doesn't think I look better, then it's hard. Like, whereas the marathon, a time is a time, so it's easier to have that progress. Um, so I feel like I don't know. I mean, you never know. Someone could show up that's a Greek god, but um, I felt like I was very competitive last year. And I made all those mistakes. So if I don't make those mistakes, I can only improve. So I feel like it's like win or bust. Like I'll be upset if I don't win. So, but in order to get there, that's going to put pressure on myself not to make mess ups. You know what I mean? So I can only blame myself if, like, say I go off meal and I mess up during like Thanksgiving, right? And I just eat like a ton of apple pie, and then I guiltily tell you later about it, right? Like, if I don't win, then I can look back and be like, well, I'll blame it on that, even though the person would have been better than me anyways. Like, I don't want to give that an out. Like, I'd be like, no, that was my fault. Um, so I think there's that. I think the sub goals is going to be better at the posing. Practice earlier, more often, be more confident, be more flowing. Um, Scheduling time in with my workouts in the mornings to do like 10 minutes of posing after, like getting like used to that. Like, what after working out, like going into the room with the mirrors, plus like still doing it at home later that night, but like just getting comfortable doing it in front of people, like, not feeling awkward about it. Um, I think there's some of that. So that's kind of like my biggest goals. Obviously, do better, look better than I did last time. Better at posing, win, and I guess like have less mess ups. I don't want to say be perfect because then I feel like that's unreasonable. I'll probably mess something up, but like just be better. And probably between me and you, like be honest with you up front. Like, so when I do mess up, just own it, and we just like there's, and I don't think it's, I think it's okay. Like, if I'm applying the same thing with the marathon stuff, like there was times where I didn't hit my runs that I wanted to hit. There was times I skipped workouts. Like, it's not the end of the world. You just can't have like 2 bad days in a row. You can't have 2 mess ups in a row. Like, don't make that the new trend. But yeah, so I'm gonna win. That's my goal.
I
Puts a lot
like
of
that
pressure on
though. Like,
myself. Yeah.
yeah, I think I like that though. Like fewer mess ups. Another way of saying it could be like becoming more skilled at prepping. I like that. Like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
becoming
That's a
better
better positive spin on
bodybuild,
it.
a better bodybuilding prepper. It sounds like one of the
Yeah.
biggest challenges. Like if I'm going to predict the next 3.5 months, one of the biggest challenges is going to be balancing the pressure that you put on yourself, and that's going to be one of the challenges.
Yeah. Probably.
Definitely, I
Um,
think.
yeah, I mean, yeah, because last year I didn't know what I didn't know. So it was okay. We'll just see how we do. Um, but I mean, even my wife mentioned that she was like, because the same thing she was saying, like, you did the one marathon, now you want to do the second one because you did better and all this other stuff. And you said you were going to do one bodybuilding show, and then you came in second, and I knew the minute you came in second that you were going to do another one. Because you just couldn't let
That's
that
funny.
go. Yeah, I mean, she knew. Like the day, like we went to the get lunch right after the bodybuilding show. All my friends were there, and they were all talking about it before I even got there. And they were like, "Yep, they already know you're going to do another one." Like, everyone knew it because they knew I couldn't help being second. It would almost be better if I came like fourth, right? Because it's like, okay, it was fun, great
You're gonna write that
experience.
off.
Like,
Yeah,
yep,
yeah, yeah.
the
Now I
bucket list,
know.
but that's yeah. But you know, who knows? I mean, I don't know, man. It's like such a hard. I mean, it's different levels of things for sure. Like, I mean, we always compare ourselves to like the pros and what we see. Um, and I was actually thinking about this. People were saying, "Hey, do you want to try to qualify for Boston Marathon? Like, run a sub 3 hour marathon?" I was like, "Man, I didn't even think that was possible." And then we were kind of joking, like, if I somehow got to get there and then I ran like Boston, I would be at the back of the pack because all those guys are fast. And I was like, "Man, same thing." Like, when you look at bodybuilding for like the pro level, if I
It's
somehow
next
got
level.
to inch my way in there, then I would just get destroyed, right? And it's like, But maybe that's okay. Maybe for me, the goal is not to win any of those things or be the best in those. It's like just to be like top like X% in multiple fields. I think that's really just my personality. That's kind of how I was with chess. I got pretty good, and then I got to a rating where I'm better than 99% of people that I probably play against. And then, but when I'm in it with those people that do that, I'm not that good. You know, music, same thing. I'm not that good. Um, it just feels like it because I'm so competitive with myself that it's like, how am I not winning? You know, but because I'm just too scattered on my hobbies. So probably the same thing with the bodybuilding. You know, hopefully I win, get a pro card, get destroyed, and then be like, okay. Or maybe I just keep winning. I don't know, but it's weird because we talk like I've been thinking about this, how much time and energy I've been sacrificing in the last couple of years for fitness, and like the growth I've had with that, and how much like people like look up to me, and I'm like in better shape than a lot of like my peers and the Marines and all this other stuff. But even with all of that, it's like I don't even scratch the surface on like being elite, you know. Um, it just puts things in perspective how great those people are at something, you know. I don't know if you ever
Well,
think
it's
about
just,
that, like,
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
like even trombone playing,
Oh,
like you were like
I was gonna bring
shredding,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up music. It's exactly it. I
Yeah.
mean, like, you look at some of the best, like, college music students, they're great. Some of them end up winning, orchestra jobs when they're in college still, but many of them have to do, like, 10, 12, 14, 20 auditions before they win, and then they spend the
Hmm.
rest of their career getting better still, and then a lot of the best orchestral players won't even be the best soloists, the top musicians, performers in the world. Like there's so far you can go. And just like with the music world, just to get into the professional world, like winning an orchestra job or a military
Hmm.
um, ensemble job, like just to win that next level is like you are top 0.001%, and then there's levels after that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's crazy. And then same thing with like same thing with the marathon guys or
Hmm.
any sport. Definitely with natural bodybuilding.
Yeah.
That's for sure. There's like
So
people
like,
that take 20 years, 20, 30
yeah.
years before they like really, really are like, wow. Like it takes that
What?
long. It takes like 5, 10 preps first before
Yeah.
getting to that place.
What do you think the balance then is? Because I think you and I are pretty competitive, right? Like, what's the balance between being competitive and doing something for the love and the enjoyment of
Well, I can tell you what my mindset is right now,
it? Hmm.
kind of how I'm balancing those two things. I'm actually struggling right now. I'm mentally struggling already. I've only done my pre-prep diet. I'm 2 weeks. I'm 2 weeks into my maintenance block before the hard part of the prep diet. I'm
Yeah.
struggling already. But I can tell you theoretically how I would balance this and have balance this. I think that like with bodybuilding, there's things about it that we really like. So like we were talking earlier about training, for example, it's like we train because we like it. I mean, most bodybuilders seem to get into bodybuilding because they like training.
Hmm.
Not everyone, I guess. Some people get into it because they want to see like the photos and they want to look good, and that's the main driver. But at least most of the people I know, they end up liking training before they start thinking about bodybuilding. Like they
Hmm.
like the fitness stuff, they like the activity. So there's that. There's an enjoyment in the action steps. And also for me, there's an enjoyment with the nutrition stuff too. So
Hmm.
like I like eating unprocessed whole foods and finding different ways of like making that stuff taste good to me and make it satiating and like playing with
Hmm.
textures and stuff. Like I don't know, I think it's like a puzzle. It's fun. So I like that. I think that's fun and it's really enjoyable to me. And then when it comes to prepping, all of a sudden you take calories out. But typically like I like to have 1 or 2 high days in the week. So 5 or 6 low calorie days,
Mhm.
followed by 1 or 2, probably just 1 higher calorie day, like a maintenance day or a slight surplus day. And I actually like the reward that comes with this. So it's like 5 or
Mhm.
6 days of digging and feeling like you're grinding with the low calories, and then you get 1 day of reward, like maybe an extra
Yeah.
500, 600 calories, something like that, where it's like, yeah, I made it. So it's like you get all these little life rafts along the way as you're getting closer to the end of the prep. I like that. So there's
Mhm.
something fun about it. So I think that's finding enjoyment out of those actions, whatever enjoyment that you can. Like, I think that's pretty key. I think that's what
Yeah.
keeps a lot of people doing it, because it's tough to like just compete and be competitive if you hate what you're doing. It's like I haven't really met
Yeah.
anyone when it comes to bodybuilding anyways. I don't
Mhm.
think I've met anyone that doesn't have something about it that they like, because it's really
Yeah.
hard. I mean, you know this. It's like you spend so many weeks and months dieting. It's like it's not easy. It's really uncomfortable, actually. It's
Mhm.
really, really, really uncomfortable for a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And the training gets hard too. So, like after a certain point, energy starts to get lower with the body fat percentage, and
Mhm.
training gets really hard. And then all of a sudden, training gets less fun, and, like, that's really tough. So you have to have something in there that you like. So even for me,
Yeah.
like, I get to a point where all of a sudden I stop liking my training as much. It'll take a long
Mm.
time to get there, but eventually that'll happen. And then it's like, well, at least I like this reward thing with the food, where it's like I'm digging 6 days and then I got that one reward day with the food. And it's like,
Mm.
at least I still like that. And then there's the enjoyment factor of seeing progress regularly. It's like, okay, I'm digging, it's hard, but I see the
Mhm.
body changing, and that's enjoyable in some sense. It's rewarding. I don't know if enjoyable is the right word. I think it's rewarding and it's satisfying.
Yeah.
And then it all comes down to like the show day. Like you have fun on the
Mhm.
show day. That's rewarding, and that is genuinely, I think that's fun.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to I think that's the way to make it work. Like
Mhm.
competitiveness, I think that's something that inherently you have or you don't have. It's like some people seem to
Yeah.
care a lot about winning or doing well, and some people just don't seem to care as much. And I don't know if like you can teach someone to care about winning. I think
Mm.
it might be something that you just have or you don't have. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Yeah.
But from what I know about myself anyways, no one taught me to like want to win. And
Mhm.
most of the people I know that are really competitive, like you, like I don't know
Yeah.
if like I know we've talked about this, but like that's kind of your personality. It's like no one really taught you
Yeah.
that. So I think it's just a matter of like finding something that you like, things that you
Mhm.
like to keep you locked in and to keep you focused
Yeah.
to reach whatever competitive end that you're trying to meet. I don't know if I answered that very well, but
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it makes sense. I'm trying to think about like it's almost like for me I have to have a reason that I'm doing something, right? If I'm going to spend like so much time doing something, I want there to be like fruits for my labor, you know? So I think that's why like it makes sense for like when I'm running, let me prepare for something, a race. Okay. If I'm going to be lifting a lot, let me prepare for a show, or if I'm going to do like a strongman thing, or if I'm going to do something like um I like I don't know what it would be like if I was just lifting just to lift. Like, yeah, I would maintain. I would maybe make progress, maybe not, but it would be important
what
because I
about
would
just
be
like what about just like lifting to build muscle? Like competition aside, like you still have something to work towards. Like I just want to keep building or I just want to keep getting stronger. So it's like you don't have a competitive goal against other people, but like you continue to
so
just like
yeah,
try to
that would
build
be
more.
I don't think I'd be able to do that. Like if I was lifting to get stronger, then I would want to enter a powerlifting competition. Like it would make like for me, there'd be no sense just to lift to get like why like what would be the why to get stronger and build muscle? I would need a reason. Like
It's a
because
good
if not, then
question.
I would just maintain uh average to or above average like strength and physique and like kind of like I'm thinking about like my chess playing skills. I play chess every day. I play tens of maybe sometimes even 100 bullet games every day. But I'm
Wow.
right now, I'm just doing maintenance of it. I, like, literally just play, and I don't think, and I just do it kind of as for fun. But the minute I would decide that I wanted to play in a tournament, I would have to be progressing. I would immediately, like, change my strategy on it. It's like playing trumpet. Right now, I'm playing in, like, a crappy community band. But the minute I would, like, wanna play in a better group, I would immediately have to change my mindset and start practicing fundamentals again. Like, so same thing. I don't like it. That's maybe why I keep giving myself goals. Because if not, then it would just become just like no different than me getting up and brushing my teeth because I'm supposed to do that. Like,
Right.
yeah, I don't know. Like, I think that's how because like when you say like, oh, just to get stronger, like, okay, then why not do a strongman competition? Like, or do some type of thing. That's at least where my brain is kind of going at. I don't know if there's
Well,
a fault
I
in
get
that.
that.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so at all. It's interesting. I think that there doesn't have to be one reason to
Mhm.
do things or one right or wrong. But it's
Mhm.
interesting because it's making me think about myself too. Like I didn't I started lifting when I was 12, and I didn't
Mhm.
even think about competing until I was like 24 or 25 when someone at the gym was like, "Hey, do you compete?" I was like, "What's competing?"
Yeah.
And then like it was like the next year I did my first show, something like that. But I was just like lifting because I liked lifting and like eating
Mhm.
pretty well, like, for the knowledge that I had at the time. Not amazing, but, like, pretty well. Like, I just like getting stronger and building muscle. But then when I found the natural bodybuilding competitions, then I was like, "Oh, this is sweet. I get to
Yeah.
just channel the stuff that I really enjoy doing into a competition." It's like, "Well, I'm gonna do it anyways, so now I
Mhm.
might as well, like, see if I can get really good at it and put all of my energy into this thing."
Yeah.
So it would've been interesting if I had more of an understanding of like, hey, maybe in my late teens or like earlier 20s, like maybe if I knew about these natural bodybuilding shows, maybe I would have done it sooner. I'm not sure, but
Mhm.
I just like having something that there's an outlet, a competitive outlet for something that like I would be doing anyways. But something that you
Yeah.
mentioned earlier, like why would why would you do it without being able to compete like strongman? Like if I'm gonna get
Mhm.
stronger, like why wouldn't I just like do strongman competitions if that was my goal? That's interesting because I honestly, for me, because I would lift weights even if I wasn't competing, and I
Mhm.
probably would be trying to build more muscle if I wasn't competing, but I don't know why. And I've actually been really struggling with that lately. Like,
Yeah.
really, like I don't know why. I don't know why
Well,
it's such a big deal to me, but
I mean, I
it's
think
been
I
like
would
that since I was
lift
12.
as well too, because like I think we've like talked about a lot, like how it's a foundation and having muscular strength and everything, all the benefits with that. But for me, it would be like, what would be the deciding factor or the metric of performance in like where is the cost benefit analysis of like, do I need to lift heavier than 315 on bench press? Like what's the benefit of that? Like, or why can't I just do 225 forever? Like, and just maintain. Like I feel like growth and progress would have to at a certain point plateau unless you have a specific goal, right?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
and so like going every day would be just because it's the right thing to do and it's like healthy and all this other stuff. Um, but I don't think you would ever progress unless you have a specific goal, right? Like, because everything's going to take a sacrifice. Like, what if you just wanted to all of a sudden change and do really good calisthenics? You're gonna have to change your training completely, or go compete in a high rocks competition or a CrossFit game. Like, it'd be totally different. So, um,
Yeah.
it's kind of like how I think of it. You said one thing earlier too, and I'm wondering what your thoughts are on this. You said like you never thought about competing until someone said, "Do you compete?" And that kinda happened to me as well, like, when I was just working out and then someone said it, and then same thing with, like, do they think I can run a certain, time for these races? Like, do you ever think like, I mean, what's your thoughts on that? Is, like, positive? Like, sometimes maybe some other people see, uh, your potential that you don't see in yourself and, like, kinda pushing you towards it? Like, someone saying something like that, and then all of a sudden, like, "Oh, maybe I should do that," and then you end up, like, enjoying it, like, or finding it yourself, 'cause it seems like a lot of times for me lately, it's been other people saying stuff and then me kind of responding to that. That makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's as long as it's like helping to in some way guide you in the direction that you would it's kind of natural for you to go down. Like it's
Mhm.
advantageous for you to go down. It's like, sure. It's like maybe one of the best suggestions that someone can make is to point you kind of in the right direction. If you're kind of like just out in the open and you have all this potential to go down these different paths, and someone's like, well, hey, you could do this. And you're like, well, I actually really like that. Or maybe
Yeah.
you try it and you find out you really like it's like maybe that's the best thing that anyone could have ever said to you. It's just
Yeah.
pointing you
Maybe the
kind of in the right
confirmation that you
direction.
needed. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely think that's like, yeah, you get more with like empowerment than like, you know, breaking people down or saying like that. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm
I'm having
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, you're fine.
I was gonna say I'm having some trouble already on mine on my prep mentally.
Really? Like,
I
in what way?
well, I'm looking down. I'm thinking, okay, so I'm actually intentionally not counting down how much time until the first show because it's just so much time. It's like I don't want to be that person, like
Mhm.
we're
Countdown
50
calendar.
weeks out,
Yeah.
we're 40 weeks out, so
Yeah.
on and so forth. But I'm months and months out still, and I'm not going to start counting months even. I kind of have an idea, but I'm really trying to not think about it. But I'm pretty far out. I know I got a long ways to go, and it's tough. Like when I look at the space between now and then, like I just know how uncomfortable it's going to be. Like
Mhm.
this is my fifth prep. I know every time it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it's tough like looking down at the space of time that's ahead and just accepting like it's gonna get real tough. It's gonna be
Yeah.
real tough for a
Yeah.
long time, and I'm struggling with that. Like, I
Mhm.
remember the last time I was more honestly, I was more excited about it because I was excited because I hadn't yet reached elite level conditioning. Like, I hadn't got glutes on the back of my or jeez,
You haven't got glutes
striations
on your
on the
glutes?
back. Yeah, I haven't got striations on the back of my glutes yet. So, like, I haven't got as lean as I otherwise, you know, as would be labeled as elite level conditioning. So I was like really excited to see like what am I going to look like when I'm that lean. I had never done
Mhm.
that before, and there's other things going on in my life where it's just I was really excited to see what I was capable of doing, and it was like I'm gonna win this time. Like this is it. Like I was pretty set on like I wanted to win. I had 4 shows planned. I wanted to win golds. I wanted to win my pro card. Didn't turn out that way, but like I was really excited about it. It's a lot of the prep was really hard, but like my
Mhm.
excitement got me through a lot of the discomfort of it. For this one, I've reached I don't know how much leaner I can get than I did the last time because honestly, looking back at some of the photos, like the photos that I'll never show anyone, like when I'm super flat and like just gnarly lean, like gross, like it
Mhm.
looks sickly. Um, like I know I can get like elite level conditioning. I might actually look a little bit leaner this time because I think I've built some muscle. If you have a little bit more muscle pushing against the skin, you're gonna look leaner. So I might actually I am trying that is my intention to look a little bit leaner and get improve my conditioning a little bit, but I've kind of reached like elite level conditioning, at least for me.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna try to beat that, but it's not gonna be I'm not excited about it the same way. I'm more just like, oh man, I know it's gonna hurt. And also too, like I kind of know from the 4 shows that I did the last time, like kind of how I stack up, at least in those genetic pools. And like it's not going to be that different. Like if anything, the
Yeah.
standard's higher than it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So like I don't like I still really I would like to like I'm not doing it to come second or third. Like
Mhm.
it is a goal to win, but I'm more at peace with not winning. So
Mhm.
like that might sound weird, like I'm not being as competitive. I am competitive, but I'm also very realistic
Yeah.
and I understand the whole natural bodybuilding thing and that I'm one person in this huge genetic pool and the cards are going to fall where they're going to fall, and for that reason I don't have the same kind of like giddy hopefulness that I've had in my last
Yeah.
prep or the preps before that, like, yeah, like, this is it, like, this is the time I'm gonna win. I don't have the same kind of, like, "This is it, I'm gonna win this time." It's like, I'm gonna do
Yeah.
everything I can, but, like, there's a pretty good probability that I won't. So I'm trying to balance this all out in my head. It's like I don't have the same level of excitement. I feel very realistic this time, more realistic than other times. I know how uncomfortable it's gonna be. Like, it's just unavoidable.
Yeah.
There's gonna be fun stuff about it, like I mentioned earlier. Like, I like the digging and I like the grinding and the reward that comes with it, but it's gonna be really hard. And so I'm trying to really come to terms with, like, well, what do I wanna get out of this? Because 'Cause I'm gonna do it no matter what. But,
Yeah.
what are my real goals? Like, yeah, I wanna win. I'm not doing to come 2nd or 3rd. Like, I wanna win, but being realistic, like, is there what else outside of that? Like,
Yeah.
w what's
Like,
gonna
what's the
make all of
why?
the suffering yeah, what's the real core why? Like, out of all the suffering that's about to happen, like, why? And
Mhm.
I can say all these things, which I think
But
is
did
true,
you
like, I think
feel it? Do you yeah, like
yeah, like, I know that I'm gonna learn and I'm gonna grow, and it's
Mhm.
like you endure discomfort and suffering voluntarily, and, like, you handle it well. You
Yeah.
grow, you can grow from that. So, like, that's a goal too, like, I want the growth that comes from that. But I'm still working out.
Mhm.
I haven't come to any conclusions, any answers yet. I'm still and I don't wanna make it sound like, "Oh, this is just all gonna be a big drag,"
Gonna
but I'm just
suck.
still trying to yeah, I know it's gonna be tough, and I'm still trying to work it out in my head, and I am struggling with it a little bit
Yeah.
mentally, like,
Do you think,
why am I doing all this?
do you think you're just overthinking it? So, like, maybe it's just I know this is my personality type, like, every time I've gone through something hard in my life, um, the minute it's done, people are like, "Oh, that's so difficult." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." Like, it probably was, but I don't think about it as difficult after it's done and over with because it's like I'm here and it's like everything is easy day. Um, People always talk about, like, all the military training. Was that tough? I don't know. But it was a year worth of my time. I'm guessing it was. But, like, and during it, I probably hated it, but afterwards, like, my mindset is just positive. But specifically, like, with this marathon training, that I just went through, like, I almost didn't think about it enough. Like, July 1st came and I was like, "Oh, today we're starting. Crap, I guess I gotta go run 6 miles today." And I just did it, right? Like, I don't think I was overthinking it. So maybe you're just overthinking it too early. So maybe it's just like just continue living your life, and then next thing you know, you're 3 months out and you're like starting to get shredded. And you're like, "Oh shit, here I go." Like, you know, but that's how I operate very well. And I know that's everyone's personalities. Like, some people have to like have stuff planned and organized, and they can't like run off like the cuff. Whereas I'm always just off the cuff. Like, oh crap, today I'm supposed to do this lift today. Like, and I'm just figuring stuff out on the fly a lot of times. So, but in some ways, I think I don't stress about things as much because I don't have time to consciously think about it because I'm not ahead enough. Like, I wake up and I'm like, oh crap, I have this thing today. Um, I don't know if that makes sense, but like, I feel like you
Yeah,
probably
I
overthink
actually
it. You're probably like, oh, on the calendar I have this, and I'm thinking about it. You know what I mean? Um,
yeah. Well, I think that's actually one of the best pieces of advice is, like, just go one day at a time, basically. Try not to get so focused on, like, "Wow, I'm this far out, and, like, it's
like the
gonna
day
hurt
should
this
almost
bad," or I'm
surprise you. Like, oh crap,
yeah.
it's coming
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really, really good advice is, like, just stay in the moment and, like, stay in the present. Try not to get
S-
too wrapped up in
Yeah, especially because you're
I
so
think it's good
like
advice.
trained on it and conditioned. It's not gonna like you're gonna do it anyways because it's like just habit at this point. Like, so it's not like really anything is training. You just know like the habit, and then you have a little bit more detailed focus on it. Um,
Yeah.
I was thinking about that today. I was eating my lunch, and my meal today consisted of one protein bar, a white monster, and then after lunch, I
Was
had
that your breakfast?
that was my breakfast.
That's the
I
breakfast
had
of
a
champions?
yeah, I had one little thing of cottage cheese, one Greek yogurt, little peanut butter on 3 rice cakes. And I'm there like lathering up this rice cake, and someone comes in, they're like, "What are you eating?" Like, oh, rice cake and cottage cheese. And then I like as you were talking earlier, I was literally thinking, why am I eating rice cake and cottage cheese already? But I've been doing this ever since the last bodybuilding show. It's like it's now like a habit of my diet, which and I was thinking about when I used to be fat. I used to go every day at lunch to like KFC and literally get KFC every lunch. Like, so even when I take a step back and look at perspective, it's like, okay, I have built really good healthy habits. Like just that change alone, even though like, right now I'm not prepping, it starts next week, but like I've already kind of changed in general how I approach, you know, food and stuff like that. So even my off days now, it was funny because you were saying like, oh, enjoy the week off, but don't go too crazy. I'm like, I don't know, the first day after, I went and got, like, a calzone and ice cream, and then it's been normal. Like, it's
It's
been,
been
like,
good.
normal food, like,
Been
it's
good.
just like yeah, it's like but there hasn't been that desire because I think that's gone and done. Um, One other question I have for you. So, you were talking about you wanna win. Um, have you ever thought this is gonna sound dirty, so I apologize, but, like, have you ever thought about just cherry picking a show? Like So, like, like, the shows you're going to, the talent, like, if you want the pro card, like, have you ever thought, like, would it devalue it if you find, like, a show that's smaller, potentially you have to travel a little bit further to get that? Like, do you think there's, like does that devalue it, or is that, like would you not feel like you deserved it? Have you ever thought about those things?
Yeah, I've thought about those things. Would
Okay,
it
and
devalue it?
sorry not to, like, cut you off, but, like, because there's also I think there's a benefit for you more than just you getting it with getting that pro card, right? Like that would help you as well, like for like the business and everything else. Like that
From a
adds to it.
career
So like,
standpoint?
yeah. So like at a certain point, like do the ends justify the means? To get that. Sorry, that went deep
I
real
don't know.
quick.
To be honest, like, I don't know how to answer that because
Yeah.
you can, like, cherry pick a show and be surprised. Like,
Yeah.
you could cherry pick a show thinking like, "Hey, there's gonna be less competitors there. It's just not gonna be as competitive," but you end up showing up and you got the one genetic anomaly that's there, and
Mhm.
you're coming second because that other guy's there and you don't know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could do that. I don't know what my answer would be though,
Mhm.
to be honest. Like if that devalues it, I don't know if it would devalue it because you still don't know who's gonna show up, even if it's a
Yeah.
smaller show or if you're trying to, play your cards right beforehand. For the
Mhm.
shows that I'm picking this time around, they're gonna be a little bit smaller than the ones that I did last in 2023.
Mhm.
Actually, they're not gonna really be that much smaller. You know the show that Will Tennyson won his pro card at?
Yeah.
That's what I have planned to do my first
Oh,
show, so
nice.
it's not a small show.
Well, you
The
look
next
better than
show
him.
that I
You could
no,
beat him, right?
no,
He only
no,
won because he's famous.
no. He has a great physique, you know? He
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
real talk, from my understanding, like, people gave him a lot of crap, like, natural bodybuilding, like, he didn't look at like, they're comparing him to, like, the IFBB pros and, like
yeah.
but it's like, even it's is a high level competition, but even so, it's like he's still just going from amateur level to pro level. Like, he's still
Mhm.
that's the first level up, like, and he still looked
Yeah,
really good. Like, he has a great physique. It's like, sure, he could have got a little bit better conditioning, but that was his first show, and,
yeah,
like, he definitely deserved a win. Like, he
yeah.
looked really, really good, but, that'll be my first show. My second show is I think it'll be smaller. It's the one in my hometown. I've never been
Nice.
to it. I've never competed
Oh,
or watched
yeah.
it. So, it's like, well, I live here and I've never done it before and I get to sleep in my own bed, so I'm gonna do that, and then my next
Mhm.
2 shows are tentative. I haven't decided what they're gonna be
Well, after
yet.
you win the pro card, you might not wanna go to them.
But, yeah, as far as, like, cherry picking for the sole reason of, like, trying to play your cards right to, like, have the highest probability of winning.
Mhm.
You just can't know anyway. Even if you do that,
Yeah.
you still can't know if it's gonna turn out the way that you want.
Well, and sometimes I think it's like when you do try to do that, like karma will bite you in the ass sometimes because you tried to do
That
it.
is
I'm
when the
kind of
big genetic anomaly comes and shows
yeah,
up and
right, right.
dominates.
But like so this is a weird example. So I played this chess tournament a couple years ago and I played up a division and they have like these ratings like 1200, 13, 14, 15, 1600, whatever. A grandmaster is like an international master is 2400, right? And so my rating was like 1680 and there was a section between 1700 and 1900 your rating had to be at. You're allowed to play up, but you can't play down. So I was like 1680. So I could have played in the 14 to 16 or what 15 to 1700. I decided to play up. Um and I won the whole thing. I beat everyone. Right now I was definitely underrated. I was definitely better than my rating. Um and because I won that, I won like $800 in that chess tournament. And there was someone in there
Wow.
that was like 1898, right? Like the highest you could be. And I'm like, dude, play up. Like what you're almost in that next one. And so the following year, though, I was like, well, let me play in I already won that one. Let me play in the next highest one and got completely smashed, right?
Decimated.
Just decimated by it. But like, so it's almost like the opposite. Like I didn't cherry pick and it worked out for me. You know what I mean? And I think there's a little bit of like kind of pushing yourself and challenge yourself to to compete against the best and the harder. Um, but on the flip side, I'm gonna now contradict myself. I do think there are certain skills you learn like by winning, right? Like if you're a big fish in a small pond, you like you might when you get into the real world, you understand you're not as talented as you think you are, but like you learn, at least in my experience, you learn what it means to win, you learn what it means to be a leader, you learn the responsibility it is like because I think about that a lot. Like I'm not great at anything, but I've usually been like the best in whatever small realm I've been in. And so I think you develop a little bit of a confidence, a little bit of how people look up to you. And for me, that's important because I value like leadership is one of the things that I want to do in work. So I don't know if like you have any thoughts about that or if you've experienced that, but like I think there's some intangible skills you learn by having that pressure on yourself. Like small example. So I'm now playing in this community band that's there's the one that I play in that is really good and I play third part. And now I join this other one and I'm their first chair and I'm playing all first. And it's like easy concert band stuff, which just basically means the horns on my face all the time. And my chops cannot handle it. But I'm already more excited about playing this group because the pressure is going to be on me to lead everyone. You know what I mean? So it's like I have to play better. Whereas if I'm playing third, I can hide. Um, yeah, I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about myself honestly.
Yeah.
Like my personality, I like being able to man, I'm a chameleon. That's my personality. Like
Yeah.
I like being able to like hide when I want to and not
Mhm.
lead when a lot of the time I don't like leading, but some things I would like to lead. I like coach. I'm a coach. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a leadership role.
Right.
So,
So
yeah, I mean,
yeah.
go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, like, with that, like, do you think, like, for example, going to different shows and winning and being, like, the best, you develop more confidence and skills to then help you in your coaching versus, like, if you lose all the time and then potentially confidence then goes away, like, do you then second guess, "Man, how can I coach people if I can't even win these shows?" Like, that whole aspect of it, but if you're always winning, you're like, "Psh, I'm the biggest and baddest, I'm gonna charge even extra." Like, you know what I mean? Like, like, the mentality with that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think I've actually mentioned this, but I've been reluctant to do a lot of like bodybuilding coaching for the reason that I haven't won a lot of golds outside of my very first competition that didn't lead to a pro card. So like
Mhm.
to answer your question, yeah, like having some wins under my belt to leave me as more of an authority in the fitness field, like definitely. But at the same time, there are amazing coaches that don't have the wins and that are still amazing leaders for their athletes, for
Yeah.
their clients. So like, geez, I can't think of any natural bodybuilding coaches, but I can think of like enhanced coaches. So like, I mean, what's his name? Hani Rambod. Like I don't like. I think he said he competed when he was younger, but he always talked like he always said he was never much of a bodybuilder. But you know, he's Jay Cutler's coach, Phil Heath's coach,
Yeah, pretty
Derek
good
Lunsford's
resume.
coach. Yeah,
Decent.
not bad, but he wasn't a very good like, I've never seen a photo of him, and he's only talked, like, kinda poorly about his bodybuilding, or, like, Chris Aceto, like, I don't know anything about his personal career as a lifter himself, but he's, you know, he's got Olympian athletes that he coaches, so some of the best coaches, the leaders for their athletes are not great at the sports themselves, or at least not the best. So it can go both ways. So like for me, my preference would be the former, which would be like have some wins under my belt so that at least feel like more of an authority in the field, like for
Mhm.
sure. Like that would be my preference. But I do know that there's like you can be a good coach and you can be a good leader to your athletes if you don't necessarily you're not winning all the shows.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, and that makes sense because at the end of the day, the world's best in everything has to be coached by someone who's not as good as them. Like, you know what I mean? They all
I think
have
well, I
someone.
mean that's kind of the dream is to have like for me, like having clients that exceed, like have get better physiques than me. So like
Mhm.
you dominating, crushing. That would be the ideal. Is like you
Yeah,
go out and like you do. I have athletes that do better than I ever could. Like if I were to coach primarily bodybuilders, like that would be the ideal.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I will try to make
interesting.
it come, to fruition for you. We're both
Let's
gonna get
go.
our pro cards. You know what I mean?
We're gonna both crush it.
Yes, I'm excited about it. We're going through the holidays together. I'll be miserable. You'll be thinking 17 months in advance about life, and it'll be awesome.
I'll be I'll be contemplating. You'll be living in the
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah, you're like, "Zach, don't you know the show's tomorrow?" "Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
come."
And it'll be like 4 months out, and I'll be like feeling the pain of like 120 days from now,
Yeah, exactly. I'll just be vibing.
living in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good stuff. I think it was good. Well,
Anyways, yeah.
I think better about it after talking it out. Feel ready to rock and roll next week, um, which will be good. I'm excited to get it started.
Yeah,
So,
it'll be great.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It'll be really good.
So, it's one of those things, man. I've been stacking a lot of wins, um, and we'll see when karma catches up, or something, or I'm hoping I don't, you know.
Why would there be karma?
That's true. That's true. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'll
Negative karma.
keep the momentum going. I'm on
Yeah.
fire. I'm on streak. You know.
Yeah.
Um.
Keep the momentum
So
going.
for sure, for sure. Awesome.
Cool.
I think it was good.
Well, yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
So for everyone who's listening, if you enjoyed our conversation, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to our channel. Let us know too, like, do you compete in bodybuilding competitions, in marathons? What have your experiences been like? Let us know in the comment section. We want to know all about it.
Yes.
Thank you so much for watching, and thank you, Zach.
Thank you.